Can you see this? Everyone's good?
Yeah, we're good.
Yep. All right, guys. So, like Coach Sam said, thanks everyone for joining us tonight. We got something that we want to kind of focus on is kind of getting into some more of the schemes and some of what's going on and kind of emphasizing on some of the stuff we need to be able to know as football players and see before a play happens that affects what we do within the game. So so the other night we did an event at Commander Stadium. Some of you guys might have been there. Fred Smoot, one of the players there, he mentioned how he just what drove him crazy was the fact that others might be outworking him. And this is another facet of being a football player that he excelled at throughout his career. And being able to watch film and understand what other teams are doing going into a game. And we all have access to film through our games as well. All of our games are pretty much filmed. So as you go through this, make sure you're watching, trying to pay attention to what's going on. So when you go in to watch games that you've had filmed throughout your elite season, you can see, oh, the defense might be playing cover two here. Where could I have run this route? We know typically in cover two where the safety is going to be, where the corner is going to be, where the linebackers be, things of that nature. So those are the type of things we want to focus on as we're watching this. This is, as you can see, we're watching the Commanders versus the Bucks. This is the first round of the playoffs where the Commanders beat the Bucks. I kind of just want to focus on, I want to use the chat as well. I want people to kind of talk about, I want to hear what coverage we think the defense is playing pre-snap because I think a lot of the times we think that the quarterback might be the only person who needs to know what the defense is doing. But as we've all seen through experience, like if we know what the defense is running and we can identify what's going on, like you can run your route a certain way to fit into the window of the zone that the defense might not be in. And you can kind of take your play to the next level by understanding what the defense is doing and fitting into different windows. So as you can see, like the Bucks here, oh, let me go back. Apologies. So as you can see, the Bucks here, we'll back up a little bit. The Bucks here are in have pretty much a bunch of guys up to the line. You can see, can you guys see my mouse? Sam, you can see my mouse. Thumbs up. Good. All right. So you can see they have four down linemen here. These are their four down linemen. They have two linebackers in the game currently. They have a linebacker over here, a linebacker over here, and then they have five defensive backs. So as you can see, they have one of their linebackers walked up at the moment to cover. Essentially, my thought is he's on this tight end. You see him putting eyes there, but he could also be an edge rusher as well. You see him send him in motion. You don't think, as we can tell, we've talked about this. Some of you guys have been on this stuff before. You guys can tell when you go in motion and the defense does not follow you when you go in motion, what coverage do we think it is? Let me hear it in the chat. Do we think it's man or zone typically when we see that? Exactly. I'm seeing a lot of zone. Exactly right.
Mhm.
That's exactly. So as you can see, they sent him in motion, and the linebacker in the middle is alerting the defense he's going in motion. Like he's letting the defensive line know that he's going in motion. The ball snapped quickly, and you can see they're rushing four here. So this down lineman's rushing, this down lineman rushing, this down lineman rushing, or this is the linebacker, and they're dropping the defensive end in coverage back here. The ball's handed off, and make someone miss, get upfield. Brian Robinson's a big running back, so something like this, you see he just sticks his nose in it and just gets upfield. This is something I want everyone to see right here. Watch as he gets upfield, he just gets straight upfield. A lot of times we try to cut it back too much, get to the sideline, make too many moves, go backwards. Just get upfield. I know it's not tackle, so you can't do exactly that, but
I want to know in the chat if anyone knows what kind of running play this is.
a good question.
Because there's different kinds, right? There's zone, there's Mick, what there's draw, I mean there's a
I
draw,
mean, there's zones, there's
there's
counters,
swing,
there's
counter, yeah,
traps, there's this.
trap.
I see a lot of inside zone. I like the shout. typically inside zone, guys, this is a little interesting to me here because typically inside zone, you see the line go all the way to one side. So, like on this play, I'm not sure why it's going backwards. There we go. On this play, you see that they're look at this Cosme on this side. He's just staying on this down lineman here. You like that's called like zone lock essentially. So they're locking the box here and making sure that like all the down linemen are blocked. And then he's climbing for this backer when realistically, like if they're running zone, then Cosme's probably going to be passing it off onto here, trying to get to this backer here, and then he's going to cut it off. But they're locking the box here and then just kind of leave the running back one on one with that linebacker there.
Yeah, I feel like B-Rob probably should have cut that inside.
Yeah, you see it from behind, set up your blocks. It's a little different, obviously, but yep, cuts it back. All right, let's get to the next play here. Re-zero bad guys. All right, now we can see.
But before we go any further, can anyone tell me what personnel the Commanders are in right now?
I wasn't even gonna get that high level, but I
I
like
want to see. I want to see if anyone can guess.
the 21, 12.
I mean, this is 10, right? No tight ends.
I mean, this is we got
I mean,
Ertz
if
here.
you're gonna, I mean, if you're gonna call him, I mean, he's slotted out. Yeah. Would you
Yeah,
say
and then
11,
is that
12?
is this
That
Eckler?
looks. Is that Bates? If that's Bates, then that's 12 personnel. Yeah.
That's
But no,
that's
that's
Eckler right there. So yeah,
yeah,
this
that's
is 21 personnel because this is Austin Eckler lined up at the slot. So
mm,
two running backs, one tight end. For all those who said 21, good call, guys. Good call. I think the first one on there said 21. Good shout. Good shout. But yeah, so there's 21 personnel here, which is like you see with the Commanders, and you'll see through teams throughout the league. Like when you have playmaking backs like Austin Eckler, like you can line him up throughout the wherever he is on the field. Like you can line him up out wide, you can line him up in the slot, you can line him up in the backfield. And as a defense, you always have to account for where he is because you know he could be sending motion across, get a handoff this way. He can run a quick out, he can run a slant. Like you always have to be aware of players like that, which is cool to see teams utilize their players in that way. Let me see in the chat real quick what we think the coverage is that's being run here. Again, you see a walked up linebacker to the line of scrimmage, this time on the other line, so you can see these guys flipped. You can see this corner, safety-ish type walked up. This linebacker here, man free, good call. I'm thinking it's man free too. Potentially they're running like zero blitz. It looks like it could be that. Well, I see a lot of man free. I'm thinking man free as well as I look at it.
yep.
Actually,
I don't know. It looked like man because the corner. I mean, you see the corner straight up on him. I
yep.
think he just got beat inside.
Man, corner gets beat inside and these big time throws here. Oh, sorry.
You guys heard about that number 5 guy from Washington?
Yeah, this guy's all right. Watch this throw. That's good stuff. Terry McLaurin, guys, one of the best receivers in the NFL. But guys, this is the type of stuff like you see these throws being made. Quarterbacks watch this type of stuff. Like the where the ball is placed. Like he's giving this guy a chance fully to make a play on the ball. Like he's giving him a chance. He's hit. He's throwing it off. Look at where he's throwing it. Like, sorry. My thing's acting up on me. You see him throw it to a position out in front. That's like a fade ball that we see all the time, guys. And like you got to be able to throw that ball outside, give the receiver a chance to make the throw. So you
I
see there
think
in man coverage, Jayden Daniels sees that. He's looking into the middle of the field. He sees linebacker coming
he's
up.
looking right at the safety too.
Safety's in the middle of the field. You can tell he's looking at the safety. He sees the safety stall his feet there for a second, and boom, he just lets it rip. He knows the safety's not going to get over in time and the ball's perfect placement.
Guys, I think another thing to think about here is like when we teach fades in elite and in flag star, a lot of time we're teaching outside release, but what's sometimes dangerous about that, and like what I see is that like sometimes we get too wide on our fades and we're running right along the sideline. Like I think it's really important to remember when we run these deep routes, if you do get them beat inside, that's fine. But like ideally, if you're beating them outside, like we want to give the quarterback what's called quarterback's grass, which is 5 yards between you and the sideline. It's a little bit tighter. It's a little bit tighter on a flag star field, obviously, but like when we're teaching tackle football on a full width field, like we want to make sure we're giving 5 to 10 yards of space for the QB to put the ball outside. Okay, and that's exactly what Terry did here. It makes it more difficult on the safety too, right? But I mean, that's a great ball.
Yeah, because like I said, the safety's never getting, he knows where to throw that to where the safety's never going to get over top of that. All right, now we see back in coverage here. Now we just see three down linemen with the linebacker walked up. So this is the outside linebacker. It looks like they kind of got three linebackers here. What coverage do we think it is, real quick? I mean, I already gave you guys like a kind of a cheat with you guys being able to see the snap kind of already start. Man blitz, we see. I mean, these guys are all re seeing handoff right here. Jane Daniels doesn't look like he's reading this guy because you see they're pulling the guard here or pulling the center. So the center's pulling here and they're running this bubble route out here to go
Yeah, that's
block
a
this.
pre-snap read right there.
So he's seeing that this guy's walked over here.
Hmm.
They don't have numbers in the box, but he's keeping that. He's just watching that. Oh, that's actually a cool play right there. They don't block that guy at all. They avoid him. So this is a little tackle read right here. So as you can see, they're reading this guy right here. He's reading this guy. If he's going to commit on the run, which he kind of, I mean, there's not a great read by Jayden Daniels. He keeps the ball.
Yeah,
Someone like that.
he played that well. He was eating that game, can't he?
Yeah. Again, you see it from behind. They're reading this tackle here. This is an interesting play. Like you see, like as a tackle, you don't expect to be unblocked. So it's easy to catch these guys off guard. Like at the NFL, obviously it's at such a high level. Like he does not expect to be unblocked. So usually you can catch him off guard, but he's all over that. Very nice play. Very nice. Let's have next play here. All right. See Luke McCaffrey in the game. What personnel do we think it is? What personnel in the chat? Remember, it goes tight end first, then running back. How many tight ends are in the game? How many running or no, running backs first, then tight ends. I apologize.
Hmm.
Running backs first, then tight ends. 11. Yep. You got Ertz here. You got B-Rob in the game. What coverage do we think it is in the chat? We got this guy kind of zone leverage inside the corner. You kind of think he might be playing a zone. Cover two at the CC. Got safety over top. Old Tampa two. Let's see. Motion. You know they're in zone. Create a clutch out here. They drop into three high. All you cover three guys. Good job. Jane Daniels gets out of the pocket. Get some yards. For some of you guys don't. You guys didn't go through the hardships of being Commanders fan, but this is something we never had since RG3, and we only had
Never.
it for 1 year. But it's fun to see a guy be able to run and make plays like that, making plays on his feet. Fast forward. All you covered three people. Good job. All right, so fourth down. As you know, the Commanders are going to go for it on fourth down. What personnel do we got here? What do we think it is? What personnel do we got? Look who's on the field.
It's like 11 again.
Yep, 11. Looks like they're in man, potentially cover two, depending on what the corners do. You have two high safeties. Looks like Levante David out here walked out on Ertz. Empty look. You typically think you're going to get motion with a team like the Commanders if you game plan them. Like you think on fourth down, you're probably going to get some type of motion. They're probably in man. He follows it, gets some room like that, get pushed out of bounds. Oh, that was third down. Said fourth. But guys, you see, like this is good coverage here by the you see they're manned up across the board and there's nothing. Like this safety's over top. They're all manned up. He's kind of like they're both like you could say this is cover two man, but he's kind of like the rat that's supposed to be looking underneath here, and he's over top of this side of the half of the field. And as you can see, he's staying over top and there's nothing covered up. When you're on man, like watch these guys play man coverage here. How many eyes? Like look at his eyes right here. Is he watching where the quarterback's going? Is he watching the quarterback? Is he watching the quarterback down here at the bottom? When you play man coverage, you cannot watch the quarterback because that guy's going to run somewhere else. Once they cut back, these guys are able to look back. You could see maybe if he plants his feet, he's got Crowder over the middle, but I mean, that's it's an extremely
Yeah, I don't know if I love that concept.
it's a hard throw to make. All right, we'll get to the next play, fourth down. So, like I said last time, the Commanders love to go for it on fourth down. They have their fourth down here play. Ertz, Eckler, 11 personnel. Again, looks like we got man with the running back going out there. You see the linebacker go out here and he says, I got it. That's like you kind of take those cues. It looks like he's waving at him, like, yeah, I got it. I got it. Ball snapped. Again, man, they're sending a blitz. Ball gets thrown away. Good coverage again. As you can see, guys, man coverage. No one's eyes back. He's watching his man. He's watching his man. His eyes aren't looking back at what the quarterback's doing. He's watching his man. Eyes back on the quarterback don't help.
So I don't know if you guys can see, but the idea behind this play is they're trying to create a rub over the middle. So Ertz and De'Ami Brown on the outside are literally like they're literally almost going up and trying to block these guys. You can watch them, these two guys underneath, and the design is for Eckler to come under them. And you could see like neither of them really do their job. Like Brown doesn't really get his guy to follow him, and Eckler's just eating up.
And
I
as
mean,
you once they identify it here, he just knows.
yeah, they didn't even sell it well enough.
And Eckler gets popped a little bit. All right. Starting the next drive here. Sending him in motion. You can see they're in zone coverage here. They're playing. Looks like they drop into like three deep look here. They see the quick throw. Gotta. This is like missed flagpoles, guys. This is the exact same thing. This is a play that should be a loss of what is that? 5 yards, and instead it turns into like a gain of 2 yards and keeps the drive alive. So instead of second and 15, it's second and 8. And those are the small things in games that go a long way. I've seen like the biggest thing I've seen, guys, from my team especially is like being able to pull flags like over on the sideline when there's not a lot of space. Like you have to be able to make these plays because once someone gets loose on the sideline, it's not tackle football, guys. You can't really push them out of bounds. So it's like if they get loose on the sideline, you don't have any help out there. All right, let me see. What coverage do we think they're in the chat? What coverage are they in?
I mean,
Roman.
we got one Q right here. We got a corner. We like free safety or cornerback here. He's his butt. He's 45 degrees. His butt towards the sideline.
Yep,
We know it's some level of zone.
exactly. If you're Jayden Daniels, you're the quarterback, you're looking at the middle of the field. Middle of the field's closed right now. There's a guy standing right in the middle of the field, so you're not really your first read not
Excuse me.
hmm.
I said, excuse me.
But so his first read is not really looking over the middle. He's looking at motion comes. What do we think it is? Another guess. You get another guess here. I
It's like
see
they're
a
rolling. They're rolling.
yeah. Looks like he's coming over top here. Looks like they're rolling into cover two and exactly what they do. This is like our cover two look here, guys. Look, we have here, corner here, two safeties over top. So this is like I know a lot of some of our teams do this as well, some of your coaches. This is the reason you disguise coverages, guys, because like all you guys thought this was cover three. If you're Jayden Daniels, you're thinking like, yeah, this is probably cover three here. And then you're thinking of what are the reads you're going to make as a quarterback, like that can be in cover three. And as you can see, like this is the importance of knowing what's going on here. Like Bates out here should understand like he's dropping into the flat, so he's probably playing cover two, so he's got to widen out. And he's looking back inside, and that's like small things. Like that look back inside gives him the lost step on this guy. And those are the types of things that are important to understand what the defense is doing. If you see that corner bailing out to the flat, you got to understand he's probably flat to sideline, and you got to be there to make that block if you're John Bates. But like I said earlier, like it's important to understand what the defense is doing so you can do your assignment right. And as a corner, like this is how you make a play on the sideline. Like you want to be able to cover all the way to the sideline, be able to cut it back in, keep it on your inside shoulder. That's as good as it gets right there. That's a great play. Always keep it on your inside if you're playing corner. Always. All right, what coverage do we think? Are they going to disguise it again? Cover two. A lot of cover two.
Like as we talk about cover two, guys, like we all know that cover two is different in Flagstar and how we run it on 6 and 6 than in the NFL or in just
Yeah.
tackle football, right? Like corners are manned up on the outside when they run two.
Yeah.
And we like for
Not
me, when I
always,
run a
but
cover
they
two,
are.
my corners stay in the flats.
Yeah. So like typically like if we're playing, you'll play cover two and you'll either have that guy stay in the flat or you can play cover two man, which you'll see a lot more in the NFL, which typically involves like this guy or one of the linebackers playing in like this low rat area, you would call it, kind of just like sniffing out anything that's coming underneath. So let's see, cover two, a lot of cover two guesses. He wants the ball snapped. Again, what Coach Sam just said, like this is that cover two man look, which is typically not how you see it done in Flagstar, but this is that cover two man look. And Jane Daniels makes a good play.
Yeah.
That's what makes him fun to watch. It's a good throw. Quarterbacks watch stuff like this. Hey, you throw on the run. Not easy to do. But you see that he sees the two safeties. You can see where his eyes are pre-snap. Like watch his eyes. He's looking at this. He's looking at Anton Winfield here, right here, and he's watching. He sees, scans to this side of the field. That's his first read. Gets off his first read, sees Terry across the middle, knows he has to escape, finds open receiver. It's good stuff.
And like every QB coach you guys will ever have for all you quarterbacks, like throwing the ball late across the middle is like
I
one
know.
of the biggest no-nos ever.
Yeah.
But there's just certain players who it's like kind of just get a free pass with it, and he does.
All right, here again, it looks like you have your potentially a cover three look. Safety is walked down right here. Another safety is over here. So you think the two corners on the outside are probably playing cover three. Again, rolling into that cover two look. Look at the decision making here, though. Watch how quickly he reads the receiver or
He's reading 54. He's reading the linebacker right here.
watch him read the linebacker. This is the RPO right here. Sees the linebacker commit
Bites.
and boom, he just rips it. And this corner's just left standing here, puts it in right in behind. That's good offense right there. I know some of you guys run like RPO concepts, like as a quarterback. This is tough to do at some of the highest levels. So if you're able to get some reps and kind of this run pass option where this linebacker right here, if he's backing up into a more of like a deeper zone, then he's going to hand the ball off and let him run. But because he commits just 2 steps, he knows once he takes those 2 steps downfield, he rips it over his head, and that's a gain of 15, 20. All right, motion. You see an adjustment. You see they bump, the defense bumps here, so you're expecting zone one high over top. Now they're kind of just playing that cover three shell look. These two guys covered three, and they just don't make a play. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. We're gonna watch a different team. I won't bore you, make you guys watch the Commanders the whole time.
Uh,
Let's watch the Chiefs. Let me see
yeah,
the
Boo Boo's right, growing.
y'all want to watch the Chiefs or the Broncos offense?
Yeah, I'm down to watch the Broncos.
Let's see some Broncos. We'll go Broncos. You guys can see this. All right, Broncos are a team, guys, that they go under center a lot more, a little more often than other teams. But they have a good running attack, and they also like, as a lot of you guys know, like Bo Nix is a stud. See they hand the ball off downhill. Not much of this will really apply to us, but when you see these guys run the ball, guys, look how he's not looking outside to try to bounce it. He sees a hole right here. Like, let me get it from behind because that'll do it more justice. You see how he gets the ball here and he doesn't try to look to bounce it outside. He's just ripping that run right up the middle, getting as many yards as he can. Boom, stick his nose in it, get uphill. When you guys just get uphill, stick your foot, make one move, get uphill, you'll see more flags missed on you. And again, you can see it here. Boom, get uphill, missed tackles, first down. Now they're in shotgun here. What coverage do we think it is? If any of you guys are Bengals fans, you know the Bengals struggled in pass coverage this year. Looks like they're showing cover two here,
I'm thinking three.
potentially three if they roll it over top and he drops in. Let's see. Yeah, they'd go cover two.
Yeah, they rolled two. Or
He's to the
stayed in two.
flat. Good block out there. We see like this is an example, guys. Like I look at it with John Bates last time. Like watch this block out here by this guy at the bottom of the screen. Like he misses that, gets upfield. If any of you guys want to be wide receivers or tight ends in the NFL, you have to be able to do this. You have to be able to block. I know plenty of people who has played wide receiver who, if you weren't able to block, you couldn't be out on the field because you're going to run the ball half the plays. So you got to be able to block some wide receiver or some corners. Next, they got 2 tight ends in the game here, potentially 3 tight ends. They have 3 tight ends in the game here. So this is 13 personnel. Looks like they're playing a little man free, one high over top, dropping back into a cover three look. As you can see, they have one, two, three, all looking over top. You have one, two, three, four. You have four underneath. Ball's thrown underneath. This is a good read by Bo Nix. He sees that they're all dropping deep into coverage. Give your guy quarterbacks. This is a big thing. I tell my quarterback this all the time. Give your guys the ball and give them a chance to go make someone miss. Give your guys the ball and give them a chance to go make someone miss. If they have space to run, give it to them. Let them go run. All right. It's a good play there. Someone said Bo Nix had a good year. Bo Nix did have a good year. Bo Nix is a good quarterback. All right, what coverage do we think it is? In the chat, you see one high safety. We see a corner, the both this like nickel safety, other this strong safety or nickel safety, one of the two. They're walked, both safeties are walked up. Corners way off over here. Some this is one thing, guys, like if he's playing man here, he's pretty far off. So that's one thing you look at if you're a quarterback. Like that's just like they might be a man, but that's a thing a defense will do to disguise man here because you see him here. So he backs off and it looks like they're dropping into too high right here. They're dropping into a cover two. Got tricked. All you guys got tricked. Drop into cover two. Again, he just dumps it off, gives this guy a chance to go run. All right. Look at this look by the. So if you are Bo Nix right here, and say you have a run play rant, like a run play, coach calls a run play, and you have the chance to audible. Are you going to audible out of the run here? I want to know what people think.
Big time, yes.
Matthew says no.
You got minimum six in the box.
I mean, you almost have nine in the box here.
Yeah, if you're counting outside, maybe if you're looking straight tackle box. But yeah,
Yeah,
this is
I
you
mean, you're
do this
looking
is not a good front. This is not a good front to run the ball
you're
against.
looking probably not run. You might want to
Pre
go
snap at least.
pre snap. You can see a little play action, and
The
boom, you
waggle.
have here. Look at the whole defense. Look at this linebacker, this linebacker, this linebacker. All three guys commit, and you have that. Unfortunately, when you're in the NFL, look at the makeup speed by this guy right here. Like this is the type of guys you have to deal with when you're in the league. Look at the way he's be able to track back at
Yeah,
that.
that's sick.
I mean, that's you guys made, but like look at the way he's able to get back into it and cover it. And the way the safety, look how fast the safety is over top too, like staying over top. I tell my safeties like deeper than the deepest. You have to be deeper than the deepest always. And he makes sure of it there. As you can see, they're driving a little bit here. Third down here. Spreading him out. He follows him here. Follows him here. He's following him across.
Coverage looking like cover two, right? Pretty straightforward. Looks like the
Looking
slot gets
like
beat
straight
over the
up
middle.
cover two. Looking like that cover two man look like Coach Sam was saying. And it is exactly that, the cover two man. He's getting rid of the ball quick here. It's a good throw.
It's a
Dang.
good ball, man.
Look how quick the decision making is, guys. If you're gonna be, you see quarterbacks in the NFL, if you look how fast it takes him to throw the ball. Like that's one, two, 2.5 seconds, the ball's out of his hands.
It just looks like they're just running some variation like levels concept here, guys. So like a high dig and a lower drag underneath.
Mhm.
And with them playing man, it's just a matter of which matchup you like better. And you're gonna read it high to low. He liked his matchup up there, and that's a strike.
And guys, this is something I also want to emphasize. Like look at the like the levels at which they're running it and how like much spacing they're getting in
Yes,
between.
yes.
You see this guy right here is not drifting up into this space and making it just a murky picture for Bo Nix to make that throw. Either of them are giving themselves the ability to get the ball thrown to him, but if he takes this route into this area right here, Bo Nix can't throw that ball, and if he does, it's probably gonna be intercepted. And as you can see, he just is able to make a good throw and give his receiver a chance. Like, I want to get it from behind because this is a cool throw. As you can see, like look how quickly the read is. He's looking at the safety, sees he has man over the middle, rips the ball. I mean, that corner probably should have made the play.
I mean, he's a little behind them too.
Hmm. All right, now we're thinking it's zone. We haven't, I don't know if anyone's been right recently, but what coverage do we think it is? Let's see. We're getting tricked by the disguises. This is kind of a tell right here. He's backing up.
Just
That
two,
looks like
baby.
cover two. Again, without disguising that cover one look pretty much. Disguising that one high safety. Right before the ball snapped, he's backing up into this is like a quarters look, guys. So this is like more typically like what we call cover two, which is like it's there's variations of it, but this was more of a quarters look where these guys just are four guys making the like outer shell of the defense here. And this guy needs to be able to track back to the sideline, and he needed to be able to track to the sideline. So as you can see, he's trying to get back there. They got it covered over top. You have this guy as a rat in the middle. This guy is a rat in the middle. And then he's spy on the quarterback here. So he's coming to go, just makes a miss. It's a good play. Bengals getting shredded on this drive. Second down here, looking one high. Pop the back here. This is something you'll see a lot of teams do, guys. Like this confuses the defensive line a lot. Like as someone who coached in college and played college football, like when teams do this, like this is the defensive line has to completely adjust what their mindset is on where they think the ball is going to go. Because they always think like if the running back is on this side of the quarterback and the tight end's on this side, then they're expecting probably some zone coming at them, coming this way. For them, it's zone going away from him. Now with the running back on this side and the tight end on this side, they're either expecting some same side action potentially. It could be zone coming this way with the split tight end coming back to block the end over here, or it could be some type of action where they're all going the opposite way. So you'll see teams hop the back, and it really causes confusion among the linebackers and defensive line. And here they run it the other way, run it up the middle. Good stop by the defense there. Good adjustments. All right, next play. As we get into the goal line, guys, you'll see a little more like kind of shell coverage look here, unless they're playing more man. I know personally, I think man is good in the red zone. And you see they don't run man here. It's kind of like a cover three-ish look. You see though, again, Bo Nix with the quick reads. His eyes are immediately over here. He sees eyes on this guy right here, and he says
This is
eyes on here. No safety over top. He knows that he has this fade ball right here. So he just lets it rip right away. Does not make a good throw on it, but as a quarterback, like Coach Sam can tell you, like that's the right read right there. Like if you want to get rid of the ball quickly, give your guy a chance in the end zone. He doesn't really give him a chance, but like if you like that matchup, take the matchup.
and guys, what's so crazy is like when I look back at that play, if you could just go back, Mick, we can make this the last play, but like initially when I look at that corner playing so deep and I see go right to the break point, like I'm like that should be able to make a completion out to the hitch, right? Like, because you're reading the corner here. If he gets enough depth, then you're taking that hitch route. It's 3rd and 1. Like you're just trying to get the first down. But when I see him break the way he does, this is the differentiator, and that's why Bo Nix, knowing his ability to break that quickly, like that's not. And they say open is really tight in the NFL. Like this isn't even open. So like just like watch this corner here at the top of the screen, the way he breaks on this ball. Like that's just twitchy, and like that's what
Like the
makes these guys the best, man.
exactly. The way he's able to just stop his feet and just get back downhill on
Yeah,
them, and like
that's
it's tough to
that's
do.
not normal. Yeah.
But guys, that's what these training sessions, your practices, like these are the tough
Hmm.
type of stuff like that. Keep working your feet, you get to this level, and then you got to make a better throw like Bo Nix. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, I think what Coach Mick said there is really important. Like when we do these training sessions, guys, like our objective is to get you ready for moments like that, right? And like to make sure we're able to get our feet correctly positioned, make sure we're able to jump routes when we need to. And you know, I think like we've done a really good job of training sessions this season as an entire program. Like I love the effort out there. That just needs to continue. We're almost at the halfway point, fellas, and like I just want to see us continue to turn this thing up and get better week after week. So, really quick, does anyone have any like football questions before we get out of here? And not who is Coach Mick's favorite player? Like if you guys have like a real like football question, like we'll take a couple. If not, we'll let you guys get out of here.
Ooh.
Don't be afraid. All right, no takers. All right, well, guys, hey, thank you all for doing this, man. We're gonna keep doing this on Wednesdays. Like give me a show of hands, like if you guys would be down to come back next week. Sounds like we got some interest. All right, cool. So yeah, we're gonna keep doing this, and yeah, I think next week we're gonna get into some college film, and we're all gonna be watching the draft tomorrow night, so maybe we can check out some of these top picks and see what we can expect for the fall. But hey guys, thanks a lot for doing this, man. I'm pumped to be a part of this, and yeah, let's keep getting better, fellas. Thank you, Coach Mick, too. Can everyone show some love to Coach Mick in the chat, please? All right, fellas, we're out of here, and yeah, we'll see you guys. We'll see you guys next week. All right.